what you said. My eyes are empty, and all I can say is I wish I was there. Running in circles inside my head. Take what you need. Here for you always. I heard your feet come down the hallway, and all I can say is I wish I was there. Instead of just living my whole life elsewhere. Sometimes I'm lost, sometimes I'm angry. Comes at a cost when you're looking at me. And all I can say is I wish I was there.
So one thing I feel like I've not talked about enough that would be of concern or consequence for others who are thinking about through hiking with a dog would be transportation in towns. So you might have noticed that I had the dogs on the bus. And that is because Summit County is the only place I've ever been that allows regular non-service dogs to use public transportation, which is incredibly helpful. In a lot of other towns, I've had to hitch from one side to the other. So for example, in Steamboat, the KOA was like 5 miles from the Walmart. So that's definitely not walking distance. And even though there's a public bus, dogs are not allowed on it. So that's just something to keep in mind logistically, that is different hiking with dogs than it is when you are through hiking or traveling without dogs.
Bike stack, coat strapped in the hallway. Night out, I'm wrecked, it's been a long day. Tucked in, green wind, put my head down. Where are you? Where you been? I need you around. We could build a house away from here, you and me, in the middle of nowhere, fight the frost of the morning blue. I don't care, I just wanna get home with you. I just wanna just wanna get warm with you. So we build a house and get a home, and it grows as we grow, yeah, it shows. Yeah, we build a home away from it all. At least that's what I hope for. And now I'm at your front door. This is unfamiliar. How I never get bored with you. Yeah, I just want it more with you. Oh, the mice that I had done, they move me nowhere. My mind, yeah, my thoughts.
So now that we are squarely into shoulder season with winter fast approaching, I thought it'd be a good time to talk about some of the gear changes and additions that I've been making in order to be prepared for adverse weather and conditions. So the first thing is I got rid of my Talenti jar and my folks sent me back my stove and steamboat, so I've had that for a little while now, which has been super nice. With that, I also have been keeping stocked up on tea and hot chocolate just so I have something warm to drink at the end of a long day if I need it. To kind of go with that, I noticed that it was kind of annoying sometimes when I wanted to drink hot drink and make dinner at the same time. So I did get myself a little Sea to Summit mug, which was maybe not necessary, but I do think it's nice to have that around. That way I have that option if the weather's really bad. I can just keep myself stocked up on hot chocolate or tea while also being able to eat a hot meal or oatmeal in the morning, whatever it may be. Other additions, I did get the dogs some raincoats as well as like warm up jumper base layer things from Herta and had those sent to us in Steamboat. That way, when the temperatures dip at night, I can put the jumpers on to keep the dogs warm so they're not expending energy trying to stay warm. And then also if it rains or snows, then they can stay dry so I'm not going to bed with a wet dog. Normally I wouldn't do that when I'm just day hiking or whatever, but I do think it's really important to make sure that they're dry when we're going to bed. You might also notice that my pack has gotten a bit different on top, thicker, different color, all that kind of thing. That's because I had my MLD Eva Goodnight, which is basically the same as the Gossamer Gear Thin Light, sent back to me for the dogs. So that paired with the Z-Lite sit pad that I found on the Big Sky cutoff is for the dogs to help insulate them from the ground on cold nights. And I also replaced my Thermarest Z-Lite, which was really sad because that thing had like 3,000 miles on it and it's been everywhere. But it was getting really squished down. And in case you don't know, the way that these closed cell foam pads work is it's not just the like material that keeps you insulated, it's also the pockets. So you can see it's like a little egg nest is what they call it. It has all those pockets. It traps warm air, and so once it gets flattened, it doesn't work as well anymore. So I got rid of my Thin Light. I got the Nemo Switchback, which is basically the same thing. So I'm giving that a try, and it's been really nice and comfortable. So that's been a nice change. And then the last thing I got, which I was a little on the fence on too, just because of the added weight, but it's been so worth it so far, was a little black diamond lamp for my tent at night. I was kind of hanging my headlamp, but it wouldn't light up the whole tent. It would like shine in my eyes and it was kind of annoying and weird. And so with the little lamp, I could hang it from the strap of my trekking pole at the top of my tent, and it lights up the whole entire tent, which is great because we're now to the point where we have longer nights than we do days. So it's definitely been a nice morale boost, and honestly has kind of made it hard to want to leave my tent in the morning or keep hiking in the evening because I just want to crawl in because now I'm nice and cozy in my nice new setup. So those are all the things making my base weight quite a bit heavier, but I do think it's important for morale this time of year with it being colder and darker to have some of those things to make sure that we're all staying comfortable and staying in good mood. So yeah. I almost forgot to say I did also get a sun hoodie, but obviously that's not really necessary for this time of year. I was thinking more for when we get to New Mexico, it'll be nice to have, and it's just an additional layer for me too.
She's my love. I'll cry to the tears when you see someone dancing or really cares. But baby, please don't say that I fucked this up, 'cause I needed to see that all I got is what I want, I really need. So now I'm singing a song right here and now, 'cause I've been waiting too long, waiting for you.
So this last section from Frisco to Twin Lakes has been kind of challenging for me mentally. I don't know if it's just the halfway blues, or maybe I'm a little under the weather or something and just trying to fight something and don't know it, or it could just be the section. I did have kind of a tough time on this section when I did the CT, but regardless, I've been definitely, thinking a lot about why I'm hiking, how fast we're hiking, that kind of thing. I know a lot of people go on these long distance hikes trying to seek answers to questions in their life. I felt like I had most of that figured out before I started this hike, and have just felt more and more confused as I've been on trail, so that's been kind of frustrating, I guess, too, and I've been ruminating on that a lot recently as far as like what I'm going to do when I finish the trail and that kind of thing. Yeah, I think also I got new shoes in Frisco, and my feet have been taking a really long time to adjust to them, and so having painful feet at the end of the day has not been helping, and Prima's feet have been bothering her too, and that always makes me kind of frustrated and a little bit down too when I know that we're struggling to keep her feet in shape. So I think it's getting better. This morning has been a much needed uplift with all of these beautiful golden aspens and the nice sunshine, so I'm glad that we get to end this section on a more positive note. As far as collegiate east or west, I have not made my decision on that yet. I will probably make my decision after checking the long-range weather forecast in Twin Lakes. If it's going to be really horrific, then we'll probably go collegiate east, but if it looks like the weather should be okay, then we'll go west.